show doing songs, and don't nobody remember none of your songs. They don't hum along with nothing. And then here comes somebody that can't even sing, don't have no guitar, don't have nothing, and everybody's humming along with them. There is a possibility of, some of the brothers have told me that it's hasad, it's jealousy and envy. But it's across the board. It's across the board, you know. So, you remember when we had the 3 busloads of people come through foreign, and okay, that's a whole Shia community. But they were looking around and serving the food. Now, you see the ulama, they sit over there. The only time they get up is if they have to go to the bathroom.
Or pray.
Huh?
Or pray.
Yeah. But as far as going to get their food and stuff, the people, they can anticipate what the alim want. They go get I tell the people, hey man, Musa, here's your food. I said, I can get up and get my own food. I don't need you to open the door for me. I don't need you to set the chair. I don't need you to hold me while I sit down. I don't need that. But the ulama, they like that. And these are my friends, and they see me in here serving food. They say, you cater that? I say, well, sometimes we even cook it. Wait a minute, you cook the food? That's why people was wondering what the Ethiopians were doing with that camera last, that was here a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago. They said, I'm going back to Ethiopia. I'm going to show a picture. There's an imam that cooks food and serves food.
That's a big deal with them. I mean, it's a big deal because that's what they remember, them people.
Yeah.
I remember them saying it. They said, Imam Musa serves the food. I said, yeah, they do that all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's an imam.
Yeah, that's what we do. Like the people who come, I want to help at Masjid. So, you want to be a big sheikh? Well, here's a broom. Get busy. That's what we do. I mean, you know, you want to help out. Here's a broom. Don't worry, you'll get to talk to the people in a while. But see, broom give you experience. Tell the truth.
Mops too.
You brooms and mops and cutting the grass and cleaning. See, the brothers have never had a job in their life. They ain't never, and they don't hustle. We're going to have a fundraiser, and and they fill up the thing with money.
But you always told us, you said the imam is a servant of the people.
You have
the people are not a servant, they're not, that's not the way it works.
That's the way you protect. See, it seemed like it. But see, we believe that this big thing is going to be a success. If you think the people serve you, you find why y'all just on the little teenager level. But when you get big, you think the same thing. So the people, like we say, 50 million rand, well here's 5 million for y'all and 45 for me and my friends. Mostly me. Because it's natural, it is, it's bad. But the human being, the bigger they get, the more they think of worship. You're supposed to worship me. You know the stars, the movie stars, after work, first they hope somebody know their name. After a while, everybody know them. They're famous, now they're wearing sunglasses and hiding, and they think you worship me. All the rich people that I know, you know, selling dope, all of them, big dope, they get rich, they think all they do is talk about the people, how dumb and poor they are. Okay, now I'm going to get back to Iran. So, to handle this next step, first of all, I'm going to go through, if y'all remember, 4/16/11. That's 6 years ago. Good God. Protracted struggle. But over here I got Israeli influence first. And you can see the date from the other page. It was so black. This it's backwards. Protracted struggle. Step one, destabilize. It'll destabilize Mubarak and all of that. Destabilize in Tunisia, right? Temporary transformation. Both Tunisia, right, and Egypt. Temporary transformation. We said at step two at the same time, everybody remember what we said, there won't be no Arab Spring. You forget about that. But they ain't listening. Remember, Ikhwan al-Muslimin evolving, but they evolved behind the curve. The biggest mistake they made, they came over here and worked out a plan with Obama. We ain't gonna read nothing, we did. It's all right for us to, what Obama gonna tell them? Sure, go ahead. And they took power for a minute. But see, years ago, it was a time to take power. But when the whole country is destabilized and can't work, you don't take power then because you can't fix it. Nobody can fix it. Plus, with Israeli and American influence, you're definitely not going to fix it because they're going to undermine. So it would be impossible. Okay. Step three is organizing unity of opposition, semi-consolidation.
Can we turn up the speaker volume a little bit? Some people were saying that
okay.
The volume is low. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear that better?
Oh, yeah.
That'd probably be better. No, when someone.
Okay, no. Can you hear that a little better?
That should be good. I would think. I'll have to wait and see if they
You
do
just
that.
turn that up.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Bismillah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Is that getting better?
Yeah.
Allahu Akbar.
There you go. He got it. He turned the volume.
Okay, all right, good. Okay. Now, protracted struggle. Step one, destabilizing. We had that. Tunisia, Egypt, destabilized. Step two, temporary transformation, both in Tunisia and in Egypt. But Tunisia got smart, Rashid Ghannouchi and them, and they gave power back. Okay. We said don't take power because you'll be the target of the West. You see what I mean? You can't fix it because they ain't gonna let you fix it. You couldn't fix it with all the things going your way anyway. So if people have high expectations after Tahrir Square and you can't satisfy their expectations, which is impossible in a certain amount of time, they're gonna blame everything on you. That's the way people are. So you don't take that. If they were smart, they would have said, okay, we'll work in a tripartite conference or something, where we one of the three. And one of the three parts being they folks that they like, so they'll help it grow because they'll be able to maneuver their people into position. As soon as everything gets fixed, then we'll put all eight folks in jail. Not really, but you got to be on your job around here. Anyway, temporary transformation. Step three, organizing unity of opposition, semi-consolidation. Before, Iran was always by itself. Now, this strategic alliance is super, super important. Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Russia. This is 6 years ago we're talking. You haven't heard nobody talk about these steps. These steps have happened exactly. Now, step four, regional vision. We automatically have a regional vision. Why? Because we have a regional war. War in Iraq, war in Syria, war in Yemen, right? And destabilization in all the other countries. So automatically, you don't have to fix Iran. You don't have to fix Egypt. You got to fix the whole thing. So you have to have a regional vision. Okay? And then after the regional vision, step number 5 is victory. Long process of regional development. But we have after that al-Islah. You know what Islah is? Improvement. Okay? If you don't have improvement, purification, and that type of thing, you're going to become a bum with power. Okay, now, this is a step-by-step process that have happened. We can see it. We can see the dates. Did anybody else talk about that? No, they didn't. The white folks knew about it. That's why on the 11th of April, 2 weeks later, they came out with this revolution from Egypt to the Americas, right? You see, they have Imam Jamil there. And what does Oakland have? Oakland and the American Islamic Revolution. This is off their stuff. We didn't put this up. Then we have Imam Luqman. He's assassinated. Imam Jamil al-Amin is in prison. And they have the dear brother right there at the bottom. That's just a warning. That's just to say, they try to scare you sometime. Nigga, keep that up. You see where your homeboy is. He's in prison. This is several years old. If you look at that closely, you see Imam Jamil's eyes, face is puffy, he's unhealthy. And he's in one of those, these things are torture. You know why? Because the laws say you gotta have so much sunshine. So they put you in a pen outside your cell that a little bit of sun can get through the wire, but the place is smaller than your cell. You can't take them to court and say, I ain't got no sunshine. Yes, you got sunshine. These white folks are so dirty. You know, they don't realize I was fortunate to go through this with these white folks. That's why it seemed like I ain't really never willing to give up on nothing. It's because that's how he is. I already know how he is. I just had got lucky. Everybody else got killed and got stuck in these prisons. The same traps they use on Imam Jamil, they done used them on me 50 or 60 times. Because they knew what they was getting ready to do, so they had to get rid of the leadership. It was only 2 people that wasn't on their team. It was Imam Jamil and me. Right? That's why it was okay. Now, this regional vision, this has already happened. You see the dates, nobody talked about it, and a Negro would have to have a futuristic crystal ball to come up with these steps, right? And nobody ain't paying no attention but us. We remember this. This is coup d'or. That means you walk on the battlefield, you see all the advantages and disadvantages, just like that. That's the way Napoleon was. That's a gift. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, that's the gift I got. That's why they didn't plot it on me. You can ask anybody in Oakland. 10,000 plot. Okay, just 2,000. And I stepped aside. It's like they drop a big safe out of the window on you, 20 stories up, and somebody call you a name. Hey, you said, what's up, man? And that happens all the time. It happens all the time. So it's like Musa alayhi salam, it's God protecting them. Okay, now, just another brief statement about the revolution. First of all, the victory of the Islamic Revolution. Number 1, or A, it has survived all the struggles. It became a model of survival. Number two. Number three, export of the revolution, something we used to jump up and down about. The revolution has been exported. Number four, death to America. Look at America 30 years ago and look at it now. Is it dead and dying? Of course it's dead.
On life support.
It's on life support system. And Don that pulled the plug on that. He went up to the life support system and he pulled the plug. Don is a blessing, man. He's better. He made, you know how much we liked old George Bush because he was such a fool and he drug America down. But Don is superior in all levels.
Mention the Jews in Iran.
Huh?
Mention the Jews that have been in Iran for a long time.
Oh, the Jews, did y'all read the Bible? Remember been pickled parasite. Remember Daniel and the lions den? They're in Persia. The Jews have been in Persia and Iran since 589 BC. If they were persecuted, they would be stupid that they have 2,600 years to get out of town and they don't leave. They must like it there, right? If you've been persecuted like they lie, the other thing is, y'all heard of Schindler's List, right? The Iranian list was bigger. Iranians saved over 1,000 Jews during the so-called Holocaust. Now, here's something I want to talk about of what we need as we leave our fingerprints on the pages of history, as we take charge of our own evolution. Regional vision is a vehicle for unity after destabilization. Daesh is there. They're there to destabilize the whole region, right? Since the Saudis, remember, we had to have somebody set up the situation to make it necessary to have a regional vision, right? It wasn't necessary in 2011. Okay. What we have now in the so-called Middle East is exactly what America and the Israelis did not want. The reason they finished off Saddam Hussein in 91 and again in 2003, because Saddam had a big army from fighting the Iranians. They had training and they had all the weapons they gave them. If they used them properly, they could whoop the Israelis. So what they had to do was take them all back and destroy them. But look what they got now. They got Iran, independent, produces its own weapons, satellite quality ballistics. Its economy is doing better than anybody's in the region. Its agriculture is superior to everybody's in history. And its army, the few volunteers, maybe fought in Iraq, that was, and Afghanistan, that was to study Americans. They know how to fight Americans. Because the wars on their border, they have to find out how the people doing stuff right. Now they know. When Israelis talk about, we're going to jump on Iran. Well, Hezbollah is a student of Pastoran. Hezbollah is a student of Iranians. So if the students whoop your behind, do you want to go jump on the professor? Huh? If a student clean your house, Hezbollah whoops, slaps the Zionists around, yeah, double. 2000, they run out in 2000, then they come back talking trash, and they got the clock clean clearly.
Yeah.
So the Zionists are bluffing. We're going to get you, Iran. Iran has been smart. Oh, we don't like fighting. That's what they should say. That's what okay. Here's what the strategic, instead of multiple words coming out of Iran, from the military, from the foreign minister, from the Rahbar, everybody has to get together and debate their policy with each other. And when they come out, there's no hidden cliques in the parliament, there's no hidden cliques, the foreign ministry, right? And the military, everybody is on the same page. That's what they have in a regional strategy. You have to be formed and shaped in order to take care of the threats and the opportunities. See, so far, Iran has been, the opportunities just fall in their lap. And it's because of the suffering they went through, you know, in the war all by itself. So right now, someone has to, the Iranian leadership, the Rahbar is telling them, but the people, the young people don't believe them. They need somebody like me to come there and tell them where they at and what they're doing. They don't realize they done broke all the records in history. Ain't nobody telling them, man, y'all breaking records every day. Y'all just broke a new record there. We want freedom. They got dumb Iranians. And they got the foreign ministry, Rouhani and them bums talking about, we're Greens and we want reform. Iran don't need no reform. It needs implementation. Implement what you got. Reform, what are they talking about? They need reform. They don't need no reform. They need collaboration and cooperation. So they have to have a strategic council. So America or Trump may say, we ain't gonna give y'all nothing. We ain't gonna do this, that, and another. So the military should say, well, they shouldn't say, yeah, you do this to us, we're going to do it back to you. They shouldn't say that. See, they want, Iran has already won. You don't have to prove to nobody that you ain't putting up with the bully. They didn't already prove that. So now, it's public relations time. Oh, we signed the treaties, we try to cooperate. We believe that the Gulf, of course you call it the Persian Gulf, but we feel that everybody should have free navigation. If somebody cross our line a little bit, we just say, hey, please, what you going on? That's what they should do. Play the nice guy. They done already won. Oh, the foreign ministry? They slap the foreign ministry in the head and kick them in the butt every time they get a chance. Should they say, we're going to do this? You should know, they should say, well, you know, we were talking to our allies, the French and the Europeans, and they agree with us. What's wrong with America? Well, we fulfilled, which they have, remember? Right. We fulfilled all our requisites for the treaty, and our people are starving. Of course, they're not, but you just lay it on. You know, a little bit. Yes, we're having, but we are going, we on a peace move. We believe that the world needs more peace, love, and harmony. Yeah, that's right, sure. Sell it. Sell it big. They don't know how to sell themselves. The army will say, you mess with us, you come in the Persian Gulf, you watch and see what happens. course, they're not lying, they will
Clean
move
it up.
on you. Let them alone. Let them float right up to the coast of Iran if they want. Just say, why would they do that to us? Of course, you got all your guns pointed on them. They can't do that to you. But you smiling. Oh, and see, everybody's on Iran's side. All the Europeans, because they want money. And the American companies have opened subsidiaries in Europe so they can do business with Iran. Don't nobody want to hear what them people is talking about, because there's too much money going around. And stupid America, it's not stupid, it's beyond stupid. Look at America in Afghanistan, 16 years. Pretty soon they're going to have 100 years war like the Europeans had a long time. They had 100 years war, man. 100 years. 16 years? That's 4 World War IIs. 4 World War IIs.
And 5 World War Ones.
No, it's 6. The U.S. didn't come in before 1 year, right?
Yeah, I mean the total part of the world.
Total, yeah. Good God Almighty. And they still get blown up and whooped to death and ain't got nowhere. They're slow learners. I mean, slow learners. Right? And in Iraq, they ho and hum, but everybody in Iraq is looking at the U.S. They already know who they are. They're going to get rid of them. In Syria, see, remember, this is important, strategic alliance. Iran, Syria, Iraq, and Russia. Russia can take care of all of the level 5, the 5th generation weapons. See, Iran can only make 4th generation weapons. It'll catch up in another 4, 5, 10 years. But the 5th generations to match American technology is a dear Putin. Other people don't like him. I say he's a nice fellow. They say he's a liar, he's a thief. Well, if you're a Russian and you steal a little money, it's just like a preacher that get a little sex on the side. That ain't, right? Is that, what's wrong with that? All of them do it, right?
Come with the territory.
Just come with it, right? So if Putin steal a few $1 billion and put a few opponents in prison, what do they do here? If you get out of line, you're going to jail, you getting broke, you going, but if you on their team, you could steal all the money in the world, right? Saudi Arabia is on their team. Saudi Arabia started all the troubles in the whole region. But when this is over, look what they have now. Just what they didn't want. They have regional armies now. And each army is battle-hardened and well-trained. They have the ability to carry out sustained military missions. They can withstand extensive or extended assaults by powerful force. They never had that before. They know how to plan missions, coordinate weapons, and their technology is 3rd and 4th generation. The West, the Israelis and Americans have 5th generations. But remember, the Israelis were defeated by 2nd and 3rd generation weapons in 2006, fighting 4th generation Israeli weapons. They combined all that old stuff in a new configuration, and it adds up to 5. Okay. So, I want to get to the main point that I wanted to talk about all along, is Iran. I'll talk about South Africa later. Iran it's doing better than everybody else. But so are we. We're doing better than other Negroes. But we have to rise up to another level. That's the way history is. You have to improve and ascend. Okay, Iran has to coordinate between all of its institutions. The military, social institutions, educational institutions. And Iran has to figure out a vision for itself. Who it wants to be, what it wants to look like. There are two other big issues that they have to plan for because they're coming whether they like it or not. Number one, Yemen is coming their way. There's no other way. Saudi Arabia made war against it, so there's nowhere it can land but smack dab with Iran. That's Iran's responsibility because it's the big leader. See, Iran got what it wanted, but it came a way that it didn't expect it, and now a lot of people don't want it. They wanted the revolution to be exported. That was one of the slogans. Exported the revolution. The revolution is exported. And they are winning hands down. But now, they should participate in their own victory. Coordinated climate, where the parliament cooperates with the parliament, but the parliament cooperates with the military cooperates with the diplomatic corps, and the media. All of them collaborate with each other to fix the focus, to lead the people to the victory. What I mean is, all of this stuff is difficult, so you have to have the media constantly urging, not brainwashing, but urging the people toward these goals, making the goals fun. Oh, we're getting close. Oh, we're making movies about it, everything, showing that it's possible, just like they do here. And there has to be strategic cooperation between all the facilities. And they all have to collaborate under the al-Faqih. But the al-Faqih does not have to make all those decisions. He coordinates the whole council. We all there. Now, the Rock Bar cooperates with everybody. The military visits them, they give advice, all of that. But it's beyond that now. If you're in a war, the whole government, right, develops strategic policies. And that's what Iran